Hi, Janelle. I saw your name right when I looked over.
Hey.
Hi, girl. Hi, Amanda. I just tagged you. I was thinking of you. Okay, I'm gonna get started. Okay, cool. We're recording. Thank you. You're the bomb. My computer sucks. I recorded. Okay. So how are you guys doing? Does anyone have any shout outs or anything that you guys want to say before we get started? I just wanted to remind you guys, Chrissy said Kiana just hit a Success Club 10, like a boss. Good job. She was literally just talking to me too about how like she feels so much more like she's in alignment with who she is as a coach. And then it's crazy because once the alignment kind of comes into place as far as like mindset and growth and like believing in yourself as a leader, Success Club just kind of comes with it. So if you feel like Kiana's like perfect example that if you feel like you are like pushing really hard for Success Club, take a step back and figure out like what can I do as far as self-discovery and believing in myself better, and Success Club will come with that. So I'm proud of you. And Janelle, this is your first coach call. First call as a coach, not your first time on Zoom, of course. Chrissy's got all the shout outs. And she said Victoria because she loves your purple hair. Where'd she go? Oh, okay. She's saying thank you. I seen her. Harley just got a tripod. Super proud of you. Stepping up your photo game. And yeah.
I want to shout, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Hello. For being here. She is one of my newer coaches, and she's so awesome. So, thanks for being here, Lisa.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cool. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into it. Welcome you guys too if you're not used to being on our team calls. I'm excited to have you. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about vision, and I thought that it would be perfect after the coffee chat earlier to just kind of go over these things, because I really think that your vision for anything that you want to do in life, that's why I invited our whole wellness group, not just us coaches, because I think this applies to literally every part of life. But I think that it starts, anything you want to do starts with your vision. If you want to do something, chances are it's probably because you thought about it, right? And you were like, oh my God, that would feel so good to accomplish this, or my life would be so much easier if I could accomplish this. And so what is the thing that really triggers any life change? It's that vision. And it's crazy because that vision can come to us in a second, it can come to us in an instant and then leave. But it's so powerful that it literally will make you change your life. Like if you envision yourself feeling more confident or having more money or being around more positive people, that right there, that vision is what is going to even start the journey towards transforming towards that. So that's why I thought it was so important to come on here and just kind of reiterate the whole vision thing, because you're going to hear about it a lot, especially as a coach, especially on our team. So your vision is literally like where the rest of your life begins, because you have to know what you're working towards to be able to even work towards it. So this, like I said, can go for your fitness, it can go for money, it can go for the relationships that you have around you, it can go for even the way that you want to feel about yourself and your life. This stuff matters. Like if you are trying to skip over the whole vision part, because it's so easy, especially if you're a coach and you have access to like, coaching, a job that is literally like we have no glass ceiling. And if you're someone like me, you think to yourself like, I literally have no glass ceiling. If I just do these things, then I can make more money and I can skip the whole like self-discovery and like the hard stuff, right? But that's not true. It starts with the vision. This stuff matters. So don't skip that. I say that because I am guilty of trying to do that. I want to get there fast, fast, fast. But if you skip over that part, what you're going to do, hi Tracy, what you're going to do is you are going to create this foundation for yourself that is not solid. And so once anything in your life changes, it's all going to crumble and that's going to suck. So the vision that you have for your life is the fuel that is going to keep you going. It's the fuel that is going to snap you into gear when you're tired, when you're going through a hard time in life, when you don't have the energy, whatever all those quote unquote excuses are, which they are completely valid. I used to tell my coaches, like, you're not tired, you're just not prioritizing your time, and just like all of these things. And that's not true. We are tired and our feelings are 100% valid. And that's why this is so important, because you have to be the one to tap into that fire, to remotivate yourself, to give yourself the energy, to give yourself the motivation. And you do that by envisioning where you're going. And so, or why you're even doing it, because it's so easy to just like go to sleep, or not send out your invites, or to just not put in the hard work towards where you're trying to go. It's so easy to do that, and it's so hard to tell yourself, no, you need to tap into that vision, you need to tap into those emotions, and you need to do this for your future self. So don't take the easy way out, take the hard way out. It's really simple, but it's not easy, and your feelings are valid, but this matters. So how are we going to do this? Where do we even start? How are you going to remind yourself every single day of where you're going? How are you going to create that power within yourself that gets yourself off of the couch or out of bed? Okay, so you know how, like, I know we've all experienced these moments. Let me think of one. You know how, say you are like laying in bed and you're chilling and life is good, and all of a sudden you get a text message that you overdraft your bank account or something. What happens? Your heart drops, and like life all of a sudden is like very frazzled, and you're like, oh my God, I need to fix this, I need to fix this. And we're going to do anything in our power to fix it, to make it right. So that emotion that you tapped into right then, when you were like, from, oh, life is so chill, I'm chilling, I don't need to do anything to move forward, to, I need to do something to move forward, to fix this. That emotion right there, you have the power to tap into that, but without something negative having to happen to you to tap into that. You have the power to tap into it on your own, without life happening to you, and forcing you into that stress or into that anxiety. And so, okay, how are we going to do this? I think it's really, really important to know that there is different categories in your life that you're going to have a vision for. So when I'm a daydreamer. I'm really good at daydreaming. I can live my life through like daydreaming. I could sit on the couch all day and just like live in my dreams. And I think that that is a skill that you can create. And so um, when you're sitting there thinking about your life, I want you to remember that there is different aspects of your life that you can build. So if you have, say, you're good, Lisa, we can't hear you. If you have, say, fitness goals, or like all the things that I mentioned earlier, if you have fitness goals, if you have an income goal, if you have goals as far as how you want to behave, or the people that you want around you in your relationships, all of these different things, there is different areas of your life. So once you sit down and you think of your vision, it's not just going to be like one vision and you're done. There's a whole bunch of different levels that I think it's important to tap into, and most of the time you're only going to be usually focusing on one or two at a time, which is also really good to know, because I personally felt like I needed to do everything at once. And so just remember that there's different categories of your vision in your life. So what is really important to you right now? What do you want to transform in your life right now? And then I want you, and you guys, if you are my coaches, or if you're even on Drink, or you've heard this before, why is that important to you? Why do you have that vision? Why do you want to create this transformation? And I want you to come up with that reason. And then I want you to, instead of going 3 levels deep like we usually do, go try to go 5 levels deep. So when you come up with your why, so why do you have this vision? Why is this vision important to you? Ask yourself why again. So super simple example. When I first started, I only started Beachbody because I wanted to lose weight. That was literally it. I just wanted to lose weight, and I knew it worked because I was watching my coach do it. So I signed up, and she asked me, why do you want to lose weight? She said, why are you doing this? I said, I need to lose weight. And she said, well, why do you need to lose weight? And I never had thought about like that. I just had never tapped into that. You think about it, but you don't like intentionally think about it, right? So I had to really think about it. I don't know. I can't even walk out my door and go to Safeway without feeling shame, without feeling embarrassed, because I live in such a small town and I have let myself go so bad since high school. Okay, why does it matter to you what people are seeing what people are seeing. Why does it matter? Why does that matter to you? Because I have been bullied literally my whole entire life for being overweight, and I never want to deal with that again. I want to be able to walk out of my door, and I want the people that used to bully me to look at me and be like, holy shit, look what she did. Okay, see how I'm tapping into it, getting deeper and deeper? Okay, so why is that important to you? Why does that matter to you? Why that matters to me is because these bullies took so much of my power away as I was growing up. I was such an extroverted, hyper, happy kid. And as I started to get bullied, I started to get put into this box and beat down and beat down. And I want to take my power back. So do you see how I'm going from I'm starting Beachbody just because I want to lose weight to I'm starting Beachbody because I need to take my power back because I have been bullied so much and I've been beat down so much that I don't even know who I am anymore. I need to take my power back. Do you see how it goes deeper and deeper? So try to go 5 layers deep in any, that's just like fitness, super basic, the super basic example. But when you start to think about, like, say you're a mom and you need to make an income through, and you want to do it through Beachbody, why? When you start digging deeper into that, you're going to start to feel these emotions. You're probably going to cry. I hope you cry because that means, in my opinion, that you're doing it right. But you're going to start feeling these emotions that are going to make you want to get off the couch and go send those messages. You're going to start feeling all these emotions that are going to make you go run a mile because you're feeling just, it's that urgency that you are creating within yourself by envisioning what could be if you show up for yourself every day. And so I encourage you to try to dig 5 layers deep and to remove all of those limitations. And you guys, it's so cool because we actually are living in a time now where we have literally the opportunity to do literally whatever we want. I know he talked about this on the last call, but I'm going to probably use this as an example for like literally the rest of my life. But I learned from 6ix9ine and Donald Trump that you don't have to have a skill to become successful. You just have to be able to put yourself out there, be vulnerable, and relate to people. So when you look at, like, if you guys don't know who 6ix9ine is, he is a rapper, but he is a gay supporting Mexican rapper from a Black neighborhood. Super poor. And he is so extremely successful right now that he just got locked up in prison and then ratted on people, and he's still successful getting out of prison as a rat. Why? A rat, sorry, rat's I don't know, whatever you want to call him. Someone who told on someone else. But why is he successful? Because he's putting himself out there. He's vulnerable. He is relatable. He's so good at sharing his vision with the world and showing people, this is where I'm going. I don't care what you think. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to show you the whole journey. And then he does it. So you can be the most unlucky, unprivileged person. But if you can create the skill of digging so deep into that emotion and what is that vision that you have for your life, and then chasing it and putting it out there and telling people, I don't give a shit. I'm going to do it whether you like it or not. Because why? Because you've built that fire within yourself. So, and I'm not saying that this fire doesn't dim, because it does every single day. This is something called priming. It's actually called priming. If you want to learn more about it, Brendon Burchard actually goes super into it. But every single day, we don't wake up motivated. We wake up like, like, I don't want to do life. And what usually motivates you? Coffee or pre-workout. Tapping into that emotion and knowing there's something better to come. So if you can create that fire within yourself every single day, imagine the fire that just your presence alone is going to have on the world and on your life, right? And so all of these visions that you have are just going to start happening because you're working towards them and you're making it happen and you're believing in yourself. And Victoria actually is, like, I feel like a prime example of that right now. She spoke on our team call a couple weeks ago, but this is her second coaching round or whatever, and just the belief and the power that she has in herself. She's almost diamond times 2. You're almost diamond in your husband's account too. And it's the fire and it's the passion that you're creating within yourself. Sorry, Victoria, I don't mean to like call you out. I just notice it, I just notice it within you. I notice it within Kiana lately. Big time. Every single day you have to wake up and remind yourself of why you're doing this. And so I'm going to actually pick on Kiana a little bit more. We talked a few weeks ago, and it was like this flip, like, switched in her, and she has been asking herself now, how can I approach coaching? How can I approach helping people in a way that is aligned with my vision? not a way that's aligned with, Beachbody's vision or Haley's vision or anybody else's vision that is out there. It's how can I approach this business in a way that is aligned with my vision, with the way that I want to feel as a coach, with the way that I want to feel when I lay my head down, when it comes to co-creating your life. And like when I say this kind of stuff, the old person in me is seriously like, wow, this girl's off the rocker. Okay, like you need to like take your vision and shove it somewhere. But I swear, you guys, if you can wake up every single day and you can tap into this fire in yourself, like that's going to be the game changer. Because what is the thing that's stopping us from moving forward in our business? Fear. That's it. You see these coaches that show up and they hit diamond in a week, and then they hit like 2-star in a month, and they do all these crazy things. And what does that tell you? That it's possible. And that the only person stopping you from doing that is you. And so if you can tap into this vision, into this fire within yourself, you're going to really shock yourself. So anyways, whole point of that, remove the limitations, because we live in a place, in a time where you can be the most unprivileged person and still be so extremely successful, whatever that means to you. Success also today does not mean that you're a big CEO of some big company and you have millions of dollars coming into your bank account. Success means that when you think about what's my vision for life, it aligns with what your actual life is like. That is success. So you have the opportunity to do that, whether it's through Beachbody, Etsy, literally anything. You have the opportunity. So remove the limitations. And so, we have to take advantage of this. I heard from Gabby Bernstein that, and I don't know if you guys are spiritual or not, but she said that before we come onto earth, our soul chooses this path and this like certain time frame for a reason. And I started thinking to myself, like, wow, thank you, soul, because I love taking selfies. I love talking about myself. I love to feel confident as fuck. Like, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do the things that I love as a career. You can literally do anything that you want and make it a career now because we have the internet. So the little disclaimer with that is, though, that when you are taking advantage of the opportunities that we have, you have to remember that it's going to take time. You have to tell yourself every single day that it's going to take, I think, 3 to 5 years of constantly every day tapping into that fire that I'm talking about, 3 to 5 years for that compound effect to add up, for it to start reaping the benefits that you want, that you envision. And so every day when you're telling yourself and you're a year in or you're 2 years in, I remember being 3 years into coaching and being like, you guys, for real, like I've been so obsessed with this for 3 years now and I'm making like $100 a week. Like, what is going on? And I felt so blocked and just like I had no clue what was going on. But what I was doing was I was comparing my timeline, like Callie was saying earlier, to Candace's, to Colleen's. I wasn't thinking about the fact that I was 22 freaking years old when I signed up. I needed to go through so much growth before I could even think about building a business and helping other people. So just remember that it is 3 to 5 years of you showing up and tapping into that vision every single day and tapping into that fire within yourself every single day. Your coach is not going to do it for you. Your husband is not going to do it for you, or wife. And you cannot put that pressure on anybody else to do it for you. It's up to you to show up and tap into that emotion every day for yourself. So you have to make it like that important. You have to become, in my opinion, you have to become so obsessed. And it depends. It's like, if this vision is not as important to you, then don't become as obsessed. But in my opinion, if you have a vision of life, it should be that important. And so you have to put it up there with your top priorities, with with your family, with yourself, with your kids. This vision needs to be a top priority. It has to be that important. It is so easy to put it on the back burner. Why? Because it's not going to come for 3 to 5 years. But you cannot put it on the back burner. It has to be that important. You have to become obsessed with it every single day. I live, eat, breathe, poop, sleep, do everything coaching, because I had this vision of what my life would be like now, where I literally don't have to check my bank account like at all. And that was it. That was my vision for the last few years. And so I showed up when I only had $100 checks and life was fucking hard because I had that fire inside of me, and I gave myself the time. And here we are 5 years later now, and I don't have to check my bank account at all. Like that, to Donald Trump or somebody, that might not be something that's like super important, but that was my 5-year goal. And I've reached it because I gave myself the time. So be okay with the growth. Be okay with the fact that it's really going to hurt. You're going to lose people. You're going to lose things that just are not serving you, but it's going to be really hard because that is going to be replaced with things that are going to be serving you. So it's going to hurt. You're going to encounter things like the big snooze, which means that as soon as you decide like I'm all in, the universe is going to be like, "Oh, really? Are you?" Test, broken leg, flat tire, sick kid, challenge. Janelle is freaking professional at conquering our challenges of life, but it's called the big snooze. So as soon as you make the decision, if you like maybe get off this call and you're like, that's it, I'm going all in with my vision in life, I'm going all in, I want you to almost expect the universe to be like, oh really? Challenge. How bad do you want it? So you have to be okay with the fact that that's going to happen, and tell yourself every time, this is the beautiful destruction. That was like, I don't even know where that phrase came from, but it's a beautiful destruction. I am being buried to be planted so that I can grow. And an example of this that I constantly tell myself, this is actually what got me through the really hard times as far as income. And you guys, I was struggling with income literally like last year. This is like the compound effect type thing. And so I live in California, if you guys don't know. And I live in Northern California. And if you didn't hear about the fires, Northern California, like all of California, basically like burnt down a couple years ago. And it was devastating, you guys, for so many people. Like my family got evacuated. It was so unbelievably scary. People's houses burnt down. Lives were lost, literally full on like lives, human lives, yes, but like people lost everything. Like not even just like couple families, so many people lost everything. Okay, it was devastating. And when I just drove through to go home a couple weeks ago, it was the most beautiful drive I have ever been on. And I've drove that road since I was born. And so when I was driving through where all of that had just burnt down, it was so luscious and green. And I've never in my 27 years of life seen so many wildflowers on that stretch of road, to the point where even my little 12-year-old brother was like, oh my God, it looks like a rainbow through here. And so I have to think about that. Alicia knows. Alicia was actually like directly involved in the fires. But I have to think about that was so devastating and that was so hard. But when you drive through the forest now, I've never seen it look so beautiful. I've never seen it look so healthy and so luscious and so colorful. And so if you feel like life is beating you down, I just want you to maybe think about the fact that like maybe you're being buried, maybe you're being burnt down for a reason so that you can come back so much stronger. So I was just an example that I constantly tell myself. But we have to figure out like, how are you going to keep yourself going when life is crumbling like that? Because life is going to get tough. And I think that your visions have to be something, like I said, that is up there, so important that when you have a family member pass away or you lose your job or, you know, just like the really, really tough things in life happen, you still keep going. So you have to figure out, how are you going to keep going when things get tough? How are you going to constantly remind yourself of your vision versus getting comfortable and doing what is easy, especially when life is tough and especially when so many other people need us? How are you going to keep that vision front and center for yourself? Because it does matter. And it doesn't have to be like super complicated either. I always tell my wellness page that if you feel like you are going through a lot, I want you to keep it super simple and just have 4 categories: exercise, nutrition, personal development, asking for, or giving love. Those 4 things. So just tell yourself, how can I move forward with my exercise today? How can I move forward with feeding my body nutritious food today? How can I move forward as far as my mental health today, personal development? How can I give love or ask for love today? that's going to move you forward. So just keep it super, super simple. That is also going to, it's uncomfortable to do those things when life is hard. It's uncomfortable to work out when you're feeling depressed. It's uncomfortable to give someone else love when you feel like everybody is constantly asking from you, right? But that's what's going to get you through. It's going to get you through with love and with empowerment and with you leaning into that vision versus letting it go. So another thing Callie said earlier, I know you guys probably have heard this, and I know it takes the right person at the right time to say it if you don't already practice it. But if you are feeling like, I have no clue what this girl is talking about, I don't know what a vision is, I encourage you to just meditate. And that doesn't have to be you sitting there like Buddha, just like in the silence. I know some of us have like 100 kids, but take a shower and just envision, you know, what do I want my life to look like? What would my life look like if I had absolutely no boundaries? What would my life look like? What would it smell like? What would it sound like? What would life be like if I had no limitations as far as my confidence, as far as income, as far as what my family and friends think of me? What would life look like? Just think about it when you're in the shower, when you are driving. That's meditating. That is you. You have to come up with the vision, right? First, before you can chase it. That is you putting the vision together, you envisioning it. So meditate, take that time to really feel it and know that with time and consistency and a shit ton of failure, you can get there. And yeah, if you don't know what your vision is, like I said, ask yourself, if you had zero limitations on life, what would your life look like? Because that is your vision, and you literally can co-create that life. It can become real if you give yourself the time and the really, really hard work and the pushing through all of the challenges that life is going to put in your way along the way. So, oh, and then the last thing that I wanted to say too is once you come up with these visions and once you come up with these emotions that are like triggering to you in a good way, write them down on Post-it notes and put them in places that you can see them. And that is something that is so simple and it's easy to not do, but I promise it matters. So come up with a affirmation or a part of your vision that is really important to you, and then write it down on your bathroom mirror where you're seeing it every single day. Write it down on a Post-it note and tape it to your I would write it down on a Post-it note and I taped it to, instead of like the Honda thing on my steering wheel, it had my vision on there, like taped Post-it note. So every time I got in my car, because when I first started coaching, I was working full time and going to school full time, so I practically lived in my car. So every time I got in my car, that's what I would see was a Post-it note taped to my little Honda sign. And so you constantly are reminding yourself, right? But it has to be these affirmations and these words and these emotions that mean something to you. So if I were to write down on my little Post-it note, like, you are going to make, like Colleen, I'll use her goal. Her goal was 6 figures in 2 years. So if I would have wrote down, you are going to make 6 figures in 2 years, that would mean literally nothing to me. I would just be like, cool. And then I would move on. But to me, something that is triggering to my emotions is one day soon, you are never going to have to check your bank account again. Do you know how triggering that is to me? Because every time I go to to the grocery store, to the gas station, ordering anything online, the doctor's office, literally all the time I have to check my bank account. And then when I'm like standing in line to buy stuff, I'm checking it again to like make sure no random bills went through between the time that I was in the car and the time that I got in line. Because it has happened to me many times where you get in line and the shit doesn't swipe because a bill went through within those 30 minutes that you just checked your bank account. That gives me the most anxiety of my whole entire life ever, forever. And so being able to put a Post-it note on my steering wheel while I'm tired as fuck because I just worked a 12-hour overnighter and now I have 2 classes to go to in college, looking at that, one day soon, you're never going to have to check your bank account again. I told myself, okay, when I go to the bathroom during my anatomy class, I'm going to send 2 invites. When I get off of my 12-hour shift, even though I'm so drained and tired and covered in human urine and puke and all these other things because I was a caregiver, I'm gonna friend request 20 people and then I can go to sleep. Before I write this 10-page essay, I'm going to send out an invite to this person that like scares the shit out of me, but I think she'd be a killer coach. So why? Because I'm tapping into the vision that I had back then of what my life is now. Okay. So this was 5 years ago. This was 4 years ago, 3 years ago. But I showed up every single day. And now I'm reaping the benefits. So my daughter is melting down. But that's all I had. That's all I really had to share with you guys. So I guess it's perfect timing. Do you guys have anything you want to say?
I did, and I'm gonna make it really quick because he's also melting. I literally watched you do what you just said you did, all that stuff. And it's really cool because like it makes me like feel like I can like absolutely do it too. But also you made me think about something I read today from my personal development book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. It's really good. If you guys have a hard time like sticking to things, like not even just working out, but just everything. But it was talking about how like we all have to start somewhere basically, like, and we all did start somewhere. Like at a time we weren't even visible to the eye in our mommy's tummies, and we grew, and over time our cells multiplied, and we became, after 9 months, this baby who was ready to be born. So just like remember, like things take time and you might not see it happening, but it's happening. So like don't give up. And I really just, it was just so like such a synchronistic call with what I literally just read. So it was really cool, really good stuff, Haley. Thank you.
Good, I'm glad. Yeah, they say that like the difference between you and like Bonnie Engel is just the amount of failures that and Bonnie Engel's one of the top coaches, in case you're wondering. It's just the amount of failures that you're willing to endure. You know, you don't have to be anyone special. You literally just have to be willing. You just have to be willing to continuously show up. So, end this call. Hold on. Okay, so anyways, I was going to go over the Coach Online office after this, but I'm not going to do that because Beta obviously needs me. But if you guys have questions about the online office, please post them in our team page or in Dreamcorp, and I'll answer them for you. But thank you guys for showing up, and I hope that you guys all seriously take your vision like so serious, because your life literally depends on it. And just give yourself the time. It's going to take time, and it's going to be really hard to stay patient, but 5 to 10 years at the very most versus giving your whole life to not being happy. You know, it's nothing. It's literally nothing. Envision where you were 5 years ago. It feels like a blink of the eye, right? So when you blink next time, where do you want to be? Okay. So I love you guys so much. I got to go take care of my daughter, but thank you so much for showing up, and please ask the questions that you have about the online office too. I know some of you guys had questions and I feel bad for not answering them, but please ask them in the team page and I'll answer them, and I'll talk to you guys later. You're welcome. I'm actually going to stay on here, Chrissy, if you want to stop the recording.